My beloved child, I need you to stop for a moment and take a deep breath, because I see the wound inside you that has never fully healed, the hurt that someone caused you, the words that cut deep, and the betrayal that broke something fragile inside your heart. You have tried so hard to move past it. You have tried to forget and pretend it does not matter, but the pain keeps returning, like a relentless wave crashing back against the shore, no matter how many times you think it has gone away forever. Pause with me now. Take that breath again and say out loud, I am ready. If you meant it, whisper, I am ready right now. Today I am going to show you the path to true freedom. I'm going to teach you about forgiveness, not the superficial kind of forgiveness that the world talks about, but the deep and transforming forgiveness that only I can give you, and only I can teach you to extend to others. I know the heavy weight you have been carrying. I have seen you trying to act like everything is fine, when inside you feel like you are breaking into a million sharp pieces. And I have watched you smile at people who have hurt you, while pretending that their words did not cut you to the bone. I have seen you go through your days with a heaviness in your chest that never seems to lift, a burden that you have learned to live with, simply because you do not know how to put it down. But I am here to tell you that you do not have to carry this weight for 1 second longer. I am here to tell you that freedom is possible, that healing is real, and that the cold chains of unforgiveness that have been wrapped around your heart can be broken right now. If you want someone to pray with you in this moment, speak or type "pray for me," or raise your hand if we're together. Say it now. We will pray with you. Let me start by telling you something that you need to understand deep in your soul, which is that the hurt that was done to you was real. The pain that you felt was valid, and the betrayal, the rejection, the cruel words, the abandonment, or the abuse were wrong. I am not asking you to pretend that it did not happen, nor am I asking you to minimize the hell you went through, because I saw every moment of it. I was there when those words were spoken over you, words that made you feel worthless, words that made you question your value, words that planted seeds of shame and self-doubt that have been growing inside you ever since. I was there when that person you trusted turned their back on you, when the one who should have protected you became the source of your pain, and when the love you gave was thrown back in your face, like it meant absolutely nothing. I collected every tear you cried into your pillow. I heard every silent scream that never made it past your lips. I felt the way your heart shattered, and I watched as you tried to put those pieces back together with trembling hands, never quite managing to make them fit the way they used to. I know the nights you spent staring at the ceiling, replaying the hurt over and over again in your mind, wondering what you did wrong, wondering why you were not enough, wondering if you somehow deserved what happened to you. And I need you to hear me say this clearly and without any doubt. You did not deserve it. Whatever happened to you, whatever was done to you, you did not deserve it. Because the person who hurt you made a choice. They chose to wound you. They chose to betray you. And they chose to speak those words or take those actions that left you broken. That was their decision, and it reflects on them, not on you. So you are not damaged goods because someone treated you badly. You are not worthless because someone failed to see your value. And you are not unlovable because someone chose not to love you the way you deserved. Their choices say everything about who they are and nothing about who you are. So I need you to separate your identity from what was done to you, because you are not defined by your wounds. You are not the sum of the hurts you have experienced. You are my child, fearfully and wonderfully made, deeply loved, and infinitely valuable. Nothing that anyone has ever done to you can change that truth. But here is the truth that I need you to receive today. The truth that will set you free if you let it sink deep into your heart, which is that holding on to the pain is not protecting you. The unforgiveness that you have been carrying is not a shield. It is a prison. And you thought that if you held on to the anger, if you refused to let go of the hurt, somehow you would be protecting yourself from being hurt again. You thought that forgiveness meant weakness, that it meant letting the person who hurt you win, that it meant saying what they did was acceptable. But that is not what forgiveness is at all. Forgiveness is not about them. Forgiveness is about you. It is about releasing yourself from the chains that have been keeping you bound to the past. Because every time you replay the hurt in your mind, you are reliving it. Every time you nurse the bitterness in your heart, you are drinking poison and hoping the other person will get sick. Every time you refuse to let go, you are giving power to the person who hurt you. Power over your thoughts, power over your emotions, power over your present and your future. But when you choose to forgive, you take that power back. You are not setting them free. You are setting yourself free. And I want you to think about this for a moment. The person who hurt you may not even know that you are still in pain. They may have moved on with their life, completely unaware of the torment you carry every single day. They may be living their life in peace while you are trapped in a prison of bitterness. They may not lose a single night of sleep over what they did to you, while you lie awake replaying it over and over again. So your unforgiveness is not punishing them. It is only punishing you. You are the one carrying the weight. You are the one suffering the consequences. And you are the one whose life is being limited by the chains of the past. I understand that forgiveness feels impossible sometimes. I understand that when you think about what was done to you, everything inside you screams that it is not fair, that they do not deserve to be forgiven, that they should pay for what they did. And you are right, it is not fair. What happened to you was not fair. But here is what I need you to understand. Forgiveness is not about fairness. Forgiveness is about freedom. It is about choosing to live in the present instead of being trapped in the past. It is about refusing to let the actions of another person define the rest of your life. Think about how much of your mental and emotional energy has been consumed by this hurt. Think about how many moments of joy have been stolen from you because you could not stop thinking about what was done to you. Think about how many relationships have been affected because the wounds from the past made it hard for you to trust again. Think about how many opportunities you have missed because the pain made you afraid to open your heart, afraid to take risks, afraid to believe that good things could happen to you. Because the unforgiveness has cost you so much more than you realize. It has been stealing from you every single day, taking pieces of your peace, pieces of your joy, pieces of your ability to fully live and love. Let me paint a picture for you of what unforgiveness does to a person over time. It starts as a seed, a small offense that you decide not to release. Maybe at first you tell yourself you will deal with it later. Maybe you push it down thinking it will go away on its own. But that seed does not die. It takes root in your heart. As you continue to water it with your thoughts, with your memories, with your refusal to let go, it grows. It becomes a plant, then a tree, then a forest of bitterness that takes over your entire inner landscape. The roots go deep, wrapping around your heart, choking out the good things that were trying to grow there. So love gets strangled by the roots of unforgiveness. Joy gets crowded out. Peace cannot find any space to flourish. And hope starts to wither because all the nutrients in your soul are being consumed by this massive tree of bitterness that you have been cultivating without even realizing it. And then the fruit starts to appear. The fruit of unforgiveness is rotten, and it affects every area of your life. You become cynical. You expect the worst from people because you have been hurt by them before. You build walls around your heart so tall and so thick that no one can get through. You push away people who genuinely care about you because you are afraid they will hurt you too. You sabotage good relationships because deep down you do not believe you deserve love. And you become critical and judgmental, quick to find fault in others because you are constantly comparing everyone to the person who wounded you. The fruit of unforgiveness is also physical. Carrying bitterness creates stress in your body. It affects your sleep, your immune system, your overall health, for your body was not designed to carry this weight. It is crying out for relief, but you keep adding more burden to it. Every time you choose to nurture the offense instead of releasing it, the fruit of unforgiveness affects your spiritual life too, creating a barrier between you and me. Not because I have moved away from you, but because the bitterness in your heart makes it hard for you to receive the love I am constantly pouring out. It is like trying to fill a cup that has a crack in it. No matter how much I pour, the bitterness keeps draining it out. So your prayers feel ineffective. Your worship feels hollow. Your connection with me feels distant. And all because of this unforgiveness that has taken root in your heart. I am not asking you to pretend that the hurt never happened. I am not asking you to go back to the person who wounded you and act like everything is fine. Because forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. Forgiveness does not mean trust. Forgiveness does not mean putting yourself back in a position to be hurt again. Some relationships are not meant to be restored. Some people have proven that they cannot be trusted with your heart. So forgiveness is not about opening yourself up to more pain. It is about closing the door on the past so that you can walk into the future without dragging all that weight behind you. There is a difference between forgiveness and reconciliation that many people confuse. Forgiveness is something you do in your own heart. It is a decision you make between you and me. It does not require the other person to be involved at all. You can forgive someone who has never apologized. You can forgive someone who does not think they did anything wrong. You can forgive someone who is no longer alive, and you can forgive someone you will never see again. Forgiveness is about releasing them from the debt you feel they owe you. It is about letting go of your demand for them to make it right, whereas reconciliation requires both parties. It requires acknowledgement of the wrong. genuine repentance, changed behavior, and a rebuilding of trust over time. Reconciliation is not always possible because some people are not safe to be in a relationship with. Some people have not changed and will only hurt you again if given the opportunity. And some relationships were so damaged that they cannot and should not be rebuilt. And that is okay. You can forgive without reconciling. You can release the debt without restoring the relationship. Let me tell you about my forgiveness. The forgiveness that I offer to you freely and completely, before you ever asked for it, before you ever even realized you needed it. I forgave you. I knew every mistake you would make, every sin you would commit, every time you would fall short, every time you would choose the wrong path. And I loved you anyway. I loved you so much that I gave everything to purchase your freedom. The price for forgiveness was paid in full. Not by you, but by me. And when I look at you now, I do not see your failures. I do not see your mistakes. I do not see all the ways you have fallen short. I see my beloved child washed clean, made new, completely and totally forgiven. And this is the kind of forgiveness I want you to understand. It is not a reluctant pardoning where I keep a record of your wrongs and hold them over your head. It is not a conditional forgiveness where I am waiting for you to mess up again so I can remind you of all your failures. When I forgive completely. I cast your sins into the depths of the sea. I remove them as far as the east is from the west. I remember them no more. And this is not because I have a bad memory, for I am God and I know everything, but I choose not to hold your past against you. I choose to see you as who you are becoming, not as who you used to be. I choose to give you a fresh start, a clean slate, a new beginning every single day. Do you understand how radical this forgiveness is? Do you understand how different it is from the way the world operates? The world keeps score. The world remembers every wrong. The world holds grudges and demands payment. The world says that forgiveness must be earned, that people must prove they deserve another chance before they receive one. But that is not how I operate. My forgiveness is freely given. It is not based on your performance. It is not based on how sorry you are. It is not based on whether you will mess up again. It is based entirely on my character, on who I am. So I forgive because I am a forgiving God. It is my nature. It is the essence of who I am. And here's what I am asking of you. I am asking you to extend this same kind of forgiveness to others, not because they deserve it, for they probably do not. Not because what they did was acceptable, for it was not, but because holding on to the unforgiveness is destroying you from the inside out. Because the bitterness is like a cancer that is spreading through your soul, touching everything, tainting everything, making it impossible for you to experience the fullness of life that I have for you. Because you cannot truly receive my forgiveness while refusing to forgive others. These two things are connected in ways that you may not fully understand, but they are deeply intertwined, which is why I taught my disciples to pray a prayer that says, "Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors." Did you catch that? As we forgive our debtors, there is a connection between the forgiveness you receive and the forgiveness you give. And I am not saying that my forgiveness is conditional or that you have to earn it by forgiving others. My forgiveness is always freely given. But your ability to receive and experience that forgiveness is affected by the condition of your heart. When your heart is hardened by unforgiveness toward others, it becomes difficult to fully receive the forgiveness I am offering you. Think of it like a pipe that is meant to carry water. My forgiveness is the water constantly flowing, always available. But if the pipe is clogged with unforgiveness, the water cannot flow through freely. It trickles when it should be gushing. It drips when it should be flooding. So the problem is not with the water source. The problem is with the pipe. And when you release unforgiveness toward others, you are unclogging the pipe. You are removing the blockage that has been preventing you from experiencing the full flow of my grace in your life. I hear you saying that you have tried to forgive. I hear you saying that you have prayed about it, that you have asked me to help you let go. But the pain is still there. The memories still hurt. The anger still rises up sometimes when you least expect it. And I want you to know that this is normal. Forgiveness is not a one-time event. It is a process. It is a journey that you may have to walk again and again until the healing is complete. So every time the hurt comes back to your mind, every time the anger starts to rise, every time you find yourself replaying the offense, you have an opportunity to choose forgiveness again. You are not failing because you have to keep forgiving. You are growing because you keep choosing to let go instead of holding on. So think of forgiveness like pulling weeds in a garden. You might pull out a weed, but a few days later, you see it starting to grow back. So you did not fail the first time you pulled it. The weed just has deep roots, and it takes multiple attempts to get it all out. But every time you pull it, you weaken the root system. Every time you choose forgiveness, you weaken the hold that bitterness has on your heart. And eventually, if you keep at it, the weed will stop growing back. The bitterness will lose its power. The forgiveness will become complete. But it takes time. It takes persistence. It takes choosing over and over again to release what you would rather hold on to. Let me walk with you through this journey of forgiveness. Let me show you how to release the people who have hurt you, not for their sake, but for yours. Let me teach you how to find freedom from the past so that you can step into the beautiful future I have planned for you. Practical step. Grab a pen and write the name of one person you're ready to begin releasing. Fold the paper and put it somewhere symbolic of surrender. Then say aloud, "I release you." Do it now. First, I want you to acknowledge the full weight of what was done to you. Do not minimize it. Do not make excuses for the person who hurt you. Do not tell yourself that it was not that bad or that you are overreacting, because what happened to you mattered. Your pain is valid, so bring it all to me. Every detail, every memory, every feeling. Tell me about it like you have never told anyone before. For I can handle your anger. I can handle your tears. I can handle the ugly, raw, unfiltered truth of what you experienced. You do not have to clean it up for me. You do not have to present it in a nice package. Just bring it to me, all of it, and let me hold it with you. Some of you have never fully acknowledged what was done to you. You have minimized it because acknowledging it would mean admitting how much it hurt. You have made excuses for the person because facing their true nature is too painful. You have told yourself it was not that bad, because if it was that bad, then you would have to deal with it, and you do not know how to deal with it. But I am telling you that before you can forgive, you have to be honest about what you are forgiving. You cannot release something you have not first acknowledged you are holding. So let it out. Tell me everything. Tell me about the specific words that were said and how they made you feel. Tell me about the actions that were taken and how they affected your life. Tell me about the betrayal and how it shattered your ability to trust. Tell me about the abandonment and how it made you feel worthless. Tell me about the abuse and how it stole your innocence and your sense of safety. I am listening. I will not interrupt. I will not minimize. I will not try to explain it away or make excuses for them. I will just listen and hold space for your pain because your pain matters to me and you matter to me. Second, I want you to release the expectation of justice from your own hands. For you have been waiting for karma to catch up with the person who hurt you. You have been watching and waiting for them to suffer the way they made you suffer. You have been holding on to the hope that someday they will realize what they did and be destroyed by guilt. But this waiting is keeping you stuck. This expectation of revenge, even if you call it justice, is keeping you chained to the past. So I need you to trust me with this. I am a God of justice. Nothing escapes my sight. Every action has a consequence, and I see everything that happens in the secret places, so I will handle this in my way and in my time. But you need to let go of your need to see them punished. Give that desire to me, and trust that I will make all things right in the end, for vengeance is mine. I will repay, which is not just a statement of power, it is an invitation to freedom. I am telling you that you do not have to carry the burden of making sure justice is served. That is my job, not yours. And when you try to take on the role of judge and executioner, you exhaust yourself with a weight you were never meant to carry. You become consumed with watching the other person, tracking their life, waiting to see when they will get what they deserve, and in the process, you miss your own life. You miss your own blessings. You miss your own opportunities for joy and peace. Let me be the judge. Let me be the one who sees all and knows all and will make all things right. For you do not have all the information. You do not know the full story of the person who hurt you. You do not know what wounds they carry that led them to wound you. You do not know what consequences they are already facing that you cannot see. You do not know what I am doing in their life, how I am working on their heart, how I am bringing them to a place of reckoning. So trust me with them, release them to me, and focus on your own healing, your own growth, your own journey toward freedom. Third, I want you to pray for the person who hurt you. And I know this sounds impossible. I know everything inside you is resisting this right now. But this is not about them. It is about you. When you pray for someone, even someone who has wounded you deeply, something shifts inside your heart. The act of praying for them begins to break the chains of bitterness. And it does not mean you are asking me to bless their bad behavior. It means you are releasing them from your heart. It means you are choosing to see them as a broken human being who is also in need of my grace, just like you are. So when you pray for them, you are not excusing what they did. You are freeing yourself from the prison of hatred. This is one of the hardest things I ask of my children, and I know it does not come naturally. Your instinct is to curse, not to bless. Your instinct is to wish harm, not good. But I am calling you to something higher. I am calling you to overcome evil with good. I am calling you to bless those who curse you. I am calling you to pray for those who mistreat you. Not because they deserve it, not because it will change them, but because it will change you. When you pray for someone you are angry at, you are doing violence to your flesh. You are crucifying the part of you that wants revenge. You are putting to death the bitterness that has been growing in your heart. It is painful at first. The words may stick in your throat. You may have to force them out through clenched teeth. But as you persist, something begins to shift. The anger starts to lose its edge. The bitterness starts to loosen its grip, and you find yourself actually meaning the words you are saying. And in that moment, you know that healing has begun. So fourth, I want you to speak forgiveness out loud. Even if you do not feel it yet, say the words, "I forgive you." For forgiveness is not a feeling. It is a decision. It is an act of your will that you choose to make regardless of how you feel. The feelings will follow eventually, but they may take time. So do not wait until you feel like forgiving to forgive. You may never feel like it, but when you speak the words, when you declare with your mouth that you are choosing to let go, you are setting something powerful in motion. You are aligning your words with my truth, and my truth has the power to transform you from the inside out. For words have power. I spoke the universe into existence. I said, "Let there be light," and light was. So when you speak words of forgiveness, you are participating in creation. You are speaking a new reality into existence. You are declaring that the old way of bitterness and bondage is over, and a new way of freedom and peace is beginning. So even if your emotions have not caught up yet, your words are setting the direction. Your emotions will eventually follow where your words lead. So say it out loud. Say, "I forgive this person for what they did to me." Name the person. Name the offense. Be specific. For the more specific you are, the more completely you are releasing them. Do not just say a general prayer of forgiveness. Go through each wound, each offense, each memory that still causes pain, and for each one, declare, "I forgive, I release, I let go." You may have to do this multiple times. You may have to come back to it again and again. But each time you speak it, you are weakening the chains that have bound you. Speak it now, aloud. "I forgive you." Name, "I release you." Don't rush. Say it with intention. If you're listening, say it quietly. If you're with us, speak it into the room. Fifth, I want you to set healthy boundaries without bitterness. For forgiveness does not mean you have to allow someone to continue hurting you. Forgiveness does not mean you have to trust someone who has proven they cannot be trusted. Forgiveness does not mean you have to have a close relationship with someone who has consistently caused you pain. You can forgive someone and still maintain distance from them. You can forgive someone and still protect yourself from future harm, for the difference is in your heart. You can set boundaries while still wishing the person well. You can limit your contact with someone while still praying for their transformation. You can protect yourself from harm while still hoping that someday they will change, because the boundary is about your behavior. The forgiveness is about your heart. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. These two things can coexist. And when they do, you find the sweet spot of freedom. You are not controlled by the person anymore. Not because you have cut them off in anger, but because you have released them in love. Let me speak now to specific areas of your life where forgiveness is needed. Let me address the wounds that have been festering, the hurts that you have tried to bury, but they keep coming back to the surface. I know about the family member who wounded you. Perhaps it was a parent who should have protected you, but instead became the source of your deepest pain. A father who was absent when you needed him present. A mother who criticized when you needed encouragement. A parent who chose their addiction over you, who chose their own needs over yours, who failed in the most fundamental responsibility of providing a safe and loving home. Perhaps it was a sibling who treated you with cruelty and contempt, who bullied you or belittled you, who competed with you instead of supporting you, who made you feel like you did not belong in your own family. Or perhaps it was an extended family member who violated your trust in ways that scarred you for life. Family wounds cut the deepest because they come from the people who were supposed to love you unconditionally. So when family hurts you, it shakes the very foundation of your identity. You wonder if there is something fundamentally wrong with you, if even your own family could not love you properly. But I want you to know that their failure to love you the way you deserved does not define your worth. You are lovable, you are valuable, you are precious. And their inability to see that says everything about them and nothing about you. Many people struggle their entire lives with wounds that were inflicted before they were old enough to understand what was happening, carrying beliefs about themselves that were formed in childhood, beliefs that are lies but feel like truth because they have been there so long. You might believe that you are not enough because that is the message you received at home. You might believe that you are fundamentally flawed because no one affirmed your worth when you were young. You might believe that you do not deserve love because the people who should have loved you treated you with contempt. But I want to speak truth over those lies right now. You are enough. You have always been enough. The problem was never with you. The problem was with the broken people who were supposed to care for you but did not know how. So you are not fundamentally flawed. You are fearfully and wonderfully made. I do not make mistakes, and I made you exactly as you are on purpose for a purpose. So you deserve love, real love, unconditional love. The kind of love I am offering you right now. The failure of your family to provide that love does not disqualify you from receiving it. It just means you have to receive it from me and from others who are capable of giving it. So I am asking you to forgive your family, not to pretend that everything is fine, not to put yourself back in situations where you will be hurt again, but to release the bitterness that has been poisoning your heart, to stop waiting for the apology that may never come, to stop expecting them to suddenly change and become the family you always wished you had. Some family members may never change. Some relationships may never be what you hoped they would be, but you can still find freedom by choosing to forgive them for what they were not able to give you. So you can grieve the family you deserved while forgiving the family you got. You can move forward into healthy relationships with others while releasing the pain of your past. For I know about the friend who betrayed you, the one you trusted with your secrets, with your vulnerable places, with the parts of yourself that you do not show to just anyone. You opened your heart to them because you believed they were safe, You thought you had found a kindred spirit, someone who understood you, someone who would stand by you through anything, and then they used that trust against you. They shared your secrets with others, turning your private pain into public gossip. They talked about you behind your back, saying things that wounded you deeply when you found out. They abandoned you when you needed them most, disappearing at the very moment when their presence would have meant everything. They chose others over you, showing you that their loyalty had limits, that their friendship was conditional, that their love was not as real as you thought it was. And the betrayal of a friend leaves a particular kind of wound because it makes you question your own judgment. If you were wrong about them, who else might you be wrong about? If they could hurt you, who can you really trust? The betrayal makes you suspicious of everyone. It makes you reluctant to open up again, to share your heart, to let anyone get close. So you build walls to protect yourself. But those walls also keep out the good people who would never hurt you. I am asking you to forgive your friend, not to trust them again. For trust must be earned, and they have proven themselves untrustworthy, but to release the hold that their betrayal has on your heart. To stop replaying their words and actions in your mind, torturing yourself with the memory of what they did. To stop letting their disloyalty define how you see yourself and how you approach future relationships. Because there are people who will be loyal to you. There are people who will keep your secrets. There are people who will stand by you through everything. So do not let the betrayal of one person cause you to close your heart to everyone. But forgive, release, and make room for the faithful friends I am bringing into your life. I know about the romantic relationship that left you broken. Perhaps someone promised to love you forever and then walked away, breaking vows that were supposed to be sacred, leaving you alone with shattered dreams and an uncertain future. Or perhaps they cheated on you, choosing another person over the commitment they made to you, making you feel like you were not enough. Perhaps they treated you with disrespect and contempt, making you feel small and worthless, tearing down your self-esteem with criticism and cruel words, making you wonder if you even deserve to be loved. Or perhaps the relationship was emotionally or physically abusive, leaving scars that still affect you today, wounds that go deeper than skin, trauma that surfaces when you least expect it. Perhaps you gave everything you had to that relationship, your heart, your time, your dreams, your body, only to have it thrown back in your face like it meant nothing. So the end of a romantic relationship, especially one where you were deeply invested, can feel like a death. You grieve not only the loss of the person, but the loss of the future you imagined together, the dreams you shared, the life you thought you would build. And when that relationship ends, especially if it ends badly, it can leave you wondering if you will ever love again. I am asking you to forgive the one who hurt you in that relationship, not to go back to them, for that chapter is closed, not to excuse their behavior, for what they did was wrong, not to pretend that what happened was acceptable, for it was not, but to free yourself from the chains of bitterness that have been wrapped around your heart. You have been afraid to love again because you are afraid of being hurt again. You have built walls around your heart thinking they would protect you, but they are actually keeping you isolated and alone. The right person will not hurt you the way they did. The right relationship will be built on mutual respect and genuine love. But you will not be able to recognize it or receive it if your heart is still bound by unforgiveness. So let go of the one who hurt you so that you can open your heart to the one who will love you the way you deserve. I know about the people who rejected you, the groups that would not accept you, the places where you did not fit in, the ones who looked at you and decided you were not good enough, not smart enough, not attractive enough, not successful enough, not wealthy enough, not talented enough, not worthy of their time or attention. Maybe it was a clique at school that excluded you, making you feel like an outsider, like you did not belong. Maybe it was an organization that passed you over, a company that did not hire you, a team that did not choose you. Maybe it was a community that made you feel unwelcome, a church that made you feel judged, a group of people you wanted to be part of who made it clear that you were not wanted. Rejection is one of the most painful experiences a human being can go through because it speaks directly to your fear of being fundamentally unlovable. So when you are rejected, a voice inside whispers that maybe there is something wrong with you. Maybe you are not enough. Maybe you never will be. That voice is not mine. That voice is the enemy of your soul, taking the pain of rejection and twisting it into a lie about your identity. So do not believe that voice. Do not let it define you. But I want you to hear me say this. Their rejection was not about you. It was about them. It was about their limited perspective, their shallow standards, their inability to see your true value. For you were never meant to fit in with people who could not appreciate who you are. Their rejection was not a statement about your worth. It was a redirection toward the people and places where you truly belong. So I am asking you to forgive those who rejected you, to stop carrying the weight of their dismissal, to stop trying to prove yourself to people who were never meant to understand you. Trust that I have prepared a place for you where you will be accepted and loved for exactly who you are. For I know about the people who spoke words of destruction over your life, the ones who told you that you would never amount to anything, that you were destined to fail, that you did not have what it takes. The ones who said you were stupid, ugly, worthless, a mistake, an accident, a burden. The ones who mocked your dreams, laughed at your ambitions, told you to be realistic and stop hoping for more than you deserved. The ones whose words played on repeat in your mind for years, shaping how you saw yourself, limiting what you believed was possible for your life. Words have power, and negative words spoken by someone you trusted or respected can plant seeds of self-doubt that grow into towering trees of insecurity. So you have been fighting against those words your whole life, sometimes believing them, sometimes pushing back against them, but never quite free from their influence. They echo in your mind every time you try something new, every time you step out in faith, every time you dare to believe that you could be more than what they said. So I am asking you to forgive the ones who spoke those words over you. And more than that, I am asking you to reject those words and replace them with my words. For what they said about you was a lie. It was never true. It was never how I saw you. It was the enemy using their mouths to try to destroy your destiny, to keep you small, to prevent you from becoming who you were created to be. But my words are truth, and my truth is that you are wonderfully made, You are talented and gifted. You are called to great things. You are capable of more than you know. So you are not what they said you were. You are who I say you are. Forgive them for the words they spoke, and let my words become the new soundtrack of your life. I know about the boss or coworker who made your life miserable, the one who took credit for your work, who stole your ideas and presented them as their own, who climbed the ladder on your back while you were left behind, the one who passed you over for promotions you deserved, giving opportunities to others who were less qualified, who worked less hard, who simply played the game better than you did. The one who created a hostile environment that made every day feel like a battle, who criticized you constantly, who made you dread going to work, who sucked the joy out of something that should have been fulfilling. The one who made you doubt your abilities and question your professional worth. Work is where you spend so much of your time, and when that environment becomes toxic because of someone else's behavior, it affects every area of your life. The stress follows you home, the anger simmers beneath the surface, the sense of injustice makes it hard to focus on anything else. You replay conversations, imagining what you should have said. You fantasize about the day when they will finally get what they deserve. You carry the weight of their mistreatment with you everywhere you go. So I am asking you to forgive the ones who made your work life difficult. Not to allow them to continue mistreating you, for you must stand up for yourself and set appropriate boundaries, but to release the bitterness that has been building up inside you. Because your career is not in their hands, it is in mine. I am the one who promotes and the one who opens doors that no one can shut. So their attempts to hold you back cannot succeed against my plans for your life. For no person, no matter how powerful they seem, can block what I have destined for you. Forgive them, trust me with your professional future, and watch as I elevate you in ways you never expected. I know about the church leaders who hurt you. This is one of the most painful kinds of wounds, because it comes from people who were supposed to represent me. Perhaps they judged you harshly when you were already struggling with guilt and shame, piling condemnation on top of conviction, making you feel like you could never be good enough for me. Perhaps they used their position of authority to manipulate or control you, twisting my word to serve their own purposes, making you doubt your own discernment, making you feel like you had to obey them to obey me. Perhaps they spoke words of condemnation when you needed words of grace, kicking you when you were down instead of helping you up. Perhaps the church became a place of pain instead of a place of healing, a place of judgment instead of a place of mercy, a place of fear instead of a place of love. And I want you to know that I grieve this. I never intended for my people to wound each other in my name. I never intended for leaders to abuse their authority or for churches to become places of harm. So the actions of flawed human beings do not represent my heart for you. When they judged you, I did not agree with them. When they condemned you, I was not condemning you. When they hurt you, I was hurting with you, grieving what was being done in my name. So I am asking you to forgive those church leaders, not to excuse their behavior, for they were wrong and they will answer to me for how they use their influence, but to separate what they did from who I am. Do not let their failures keep you from me. Do not let their hypocrisy make you doubt my love. They are imperfect people just like everyone else, and their failures say nothing about my character, for I am not like them. My love is perfect. My grace is genuine. My presence is healing. Come back to me, even if you cannot come back to the church right now. Let me show you who I really am, apart from the flawed representations you have experienced. And now I need to address the most difficult forgiveness of all. I need to talk to you about forgiving yourself. Of all the people you struggle to forgive, you are often the hardest one. You have a long list of your own failures, your own mistakes, your own moments of weakness. You replay them in your mind constantly, punishing yourself over and over for things that happened years ago, decades ago. You tell yourself that you should have known better, that you should have been stronger, that you should have made different choices. So you carry guilt and shame that weigh you down every single day. Guilt for what you did, and shame for who you are afraid you really are. You are your own harshest critic. You say things to yourself that you would never say to another person. You hold yourself to standards that are impossible to meet and then beat yourself up when you fall short. You remember every failure in vivid detail while forgetting your successes. You magnify your weaknesses while minimizing your strengths. You look in the mirror and see someone who is never quite good enough. But my precious child, I have already forgiven you. The moment you came to me with a repentant heart, I forgave every single sin, every single mistake, every single failure. I do not hold them against you. I do not bring them up to condemn you. I do not keep a record that I will use against you someday. They are gone. They are washed away. They are as far from you as the east is from the west. So why do you keep holding on to them? Why do you keep punishing yourself for things that I have already released? Why do you refuse to accept the forgiveness that I have freely given? When you refuse to forgive yourself, you are saying that your standards are higher than mine. You are saying that your judgment is more important than my grace. You are saying that my sacrifice was not enough to cover what you did. But it was enough. My blood was sufficient. My death paid the full price. There is no sin too great, no failure too big, no mistake too severe for my grace to cover. I have forgiven it all. So now I need you to agree with my assessment. I need you to align your view of yourself with my view of you. I need you to stop being your own harshest judge and start being kind to yourself the way I am kind to you. So think about the things you have been holding against yourself. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. If you're holding guilt today, say this with me. I accept God's forgiveness. Speak it now. If this is recorded, pause and say it out loud. Transform the moment into a turning point. The relationship you ruined with your selfishness or your insecurity or your fear. The opportunity you missed because you were afraid to take the risk. Because you did not believe in yourself. Because you listened to the wrong voices. The words you said that you cannot take back. Words that hurt people you loved. Words that damaged relationships. Words that you wish you could unsay. The actions you took that hurt people you cared about. Choices that seemed right at the time, but that you now see caused pain. The choices you made that led you down wrong paths. Detours that cost you years. Mistakes that had consequences you are still dealing with. The times you knew what was right, but did what was wrong anyway. the moments of weakness, the compromises, the failures of integrity. I know about all of these things. I knew about them before you were born, and I chose to love you anyway. I chose to die for you anyway. I chose to forgive you anyway. My love is not based on your performance. It is based on my character. I love you because of who I am, not because of who you are or what you have done. So you could never be good enough to earn my love, and you could never be bad enough to lose it. That is the nature of grace. It is undeserved. It is unconditional. It is complete. Forgiving yourself does not mean that you think what you did was acceptable. It does not mean that you are proud of your past mistakes. It does not mean that you do not take responsibility for your actions. It means that you acknowledge what happened. You learn from it. You make amends where possible, and then you let it go. It means that you stop living in the past and start walking into the future. It means that you stop defining yourself by your worst moments and start seeing yourself as a work in progress, someone who is growing and learning and becoming better every day. I am doing a new thing in your life. Can you not see it? I am making a way where there was no way. I am opening doors that were shut. I am healing wounds that have been open for years, for decades. I am restoring what was lost, redeeming what was broken, transforming what was ruined. But you cannot fully step into this new season if you are still chained to the old one. You have to let go of the past to embrace the future. You have to release the guilt and shame to receive the freedom and joy. You have to forgive yourself to live in the fullness of my forgiveness. So let me tell you what happens when you walk in forgiveness. When you release the people who have hurt you, when you forgive yourself for your own failures, something miraculous takes place. The weight lifts, the chains fall off, the prison doors swing open, and you suddenly realize that you have been free this whole time. You just did not know how to walk out of the cell. The air tastes different when you are not carrying bitterness. The world looks different when you are not seeing everything through the lens of past hurt. Relationships feel different when you are not afraid of being wounded again. Everything changes when you choose to forgive. You will have more energy. So much of your mental and emotional resources have been consumed by the unforgiveness. Think about how much brain space has been taken up by replaying old hurts, by nursing grudges, by fantasizing about revenge. When you let it go, you will be amazed at how much capacity you have for other things. You will be able to pursue dreams you had forgotten about. You will be able to invest in relationships that bring you joy. You will be able to focus on the present instead of constantly being pulled back into the past. The things that used to exhaust you will no longer have the same power over you. You will have more peace. The inner turmoil that has been your constant companion will begin to subside. The anxious thoughts that kept you up at night will lose their grip. The anger that simmered beneath the surface will cool. You will experience a calm that goes deeper than your circumstances. A peace that comes from knowing that you have done the hard work of releasing what needed to be released. And this peace is not the absence of problems. It is the presence of my spirit bringing rest to your soul. It is the kind of peace that does not make sense to the world. The peace that passes understanding. The peace that guards your heart and your mind. You will have more joy, for bitterness is a joy thief, It steals your ability to be fully present in happy moments, because part of you is always thinking about the hurt. You cannot fully enjoy a celebration because a corner of your mind is occupied by the offense. You cannot fully appreciate a blessing because bitterness has colored your perception of everything. But when you forgive, you make room for genuine gladness. You can laugh without the laughter being tinged with pain. You can celebrate without feeling like you do not deserve good things. You can experience simple pleasures without guilt or reservation. So joy becomes your natural state instead of something you have to fight for. You will have better relationships. The walls you built to protect yourself being hurt again were also keeping out people who wanted to love you. But when you choose to forgive, those walls can come down. You can be vulnerable again. You can trust again, not blindly, not without wisdom, but with a heart that is open to connection. The people around you will notice the difference. They will feel safer with you because you are not carrying around a bunch of unprocessed pain that might spill onto them. Your relationships will become deeper and more meaningful because you are bringing a whole heart to them instead of a fragmented one. You will have greater impact, for I have given you a purpose, a calling, a mission that only you can fulfill. But unforgiveness has been holding you back from fully stepping into that purpose. It has been like an anchor attached to your ankle, keeping you from moving forward as fast and as far as you were meant to go. So when you forgive, you cut that anchor loose. You are free to run toward your destiny without anything dragging behind you. The world needs what you have to offer, and unforgiveness has been keeping you from offering it. So choose to forgive so that you can fully become who you were created to be. I want to pray over you right now. I want to speak directly to the deepest places in your heart where the unforgiveness has taken root. I want to break every chain, heal every wound, and set you completely free. Father, I come to you on behalf of this precious child who is reading these words, who is listening with a heart that longs for freedom. For you know the hurts they have experienced, you know the wounds that have never fully healed, you know the bitterness that has been growing in their heart, sometimes hidden even from them. You know every detail of every painful memory that plays on repeat in their mind, and I ask you now to bring complete healing and freedom. I break the power of unforgiveness over their life. I declare that every chain of bitterness is being shattered right now. I speak healing to the wounds that have been open for years, for decades. I call forward the peace that passes understanding, the joy that comes from being completely free, the love that casts out all fear. I declare that they are no longer bound by the actions of others. They are no longer defined by what was done to them. They are no longer prisoners of the past. I release them from every expectation of revenge. I release them from every need to see their offenders punished. I release them from every demand for an apology that may never come. I fill that space with your grace, your mercy, your perfect justice that makes all things right in the end. I trust you with every person who has hurt this child. I leave them in your hands knowing that you see everything and that nothing escapes your notice. I speak to every memory that has been a source of pain. I command those memories to lose their power. They may remain, but they will no longer sting. They will become testimonies of how far this child has come, evidence of the healing power of forgiveness. monuments to your grace that can transform even the deepest wounds into sources of strength and wisdom. I speak to the guilt and shame that this child has been carrying about their own failures. I declare that they are forgiven. I declare that the blood of Jesus has washed them clean. I declare that there is no condemnation for those who are in Christ. I release them from self-punishment, from self-hatred, from the constant inner critic that reminds them of every mistake. I speak kindness and compassion over the way they see themselves. I call them to treat themselves with the same grace that I have shown them, and I speak over their future. I declare that the best is yet to come. I declare that the years the locusts have eaten will be restored. I declare that what the enemy meant for evil, I am turning for good. I declare that every door that unforgiveness has kept closed is now swinging open. I declare that every relationship that unforgiveness has poisoned is now being healed. I declare that every dream that unforgiveness has delayed is now accelerating. I declare that this is a new season, a season of freedom, a season of healing, a season of walking in the fullness of everything I have planned. My child, receive this word today. Do not just hear it and move on. Let it sink deep into your heart. Let it take root and grow. Let it transform you from the inside out. For forgiveness is not optional for those who want to live in freedom. It is essential. It is the key that unlocks the door to everything I have for you. I am not asking you to do this alone. I am with you every step of the way. When forgiveness feels impossible, lean on my strength. When the old hurts come rushing back, run to my presence. When you find yourself slipping back into bitterness, call on my name and I will help you. I will carry you through this. I will be your strength when you have none left. This journey of forgiveness is one we are walking together hand in hand, step by step. You may have to forgive the same person many times. Every time the hurt resurfaces, every time the anger tries to take hold again, you choose forgiveness again. And this is not failure. This is faithfulness. You are choosing over and over to walk in freedom instead of captivity. And each time you choose forgiveness, it gets a little easier. Each time you release the offense, its hold on you gets a little weaker. Until one day you realize that you can think about what happened without feeling the old pain. One day you remember the offense, but it doesn't have any power over you anymore. One day you're completely free, and that day is coming for you. I promise you that day is coming. The wounds will heal, the bitterness will fade, the freedom will become your permanent reality. Just keep choosing forgiveness, keep releasing what needs to be released, keep trusting me with the people who have hurt you, keep believing that your best days are ahead of you, not behind you. I want to tell you about a woman who came to me many years ago. She had been caught in the very act of adultery. The religious leaders dragged her before me, throwing her at my feet in the dirt. They quoted the law that said she should be stoned. They wanted to trap me to make me either contradict the law or condemn her to death. But I knew something they did not know. I knew that every single one of them was guilty of their own sins. So I said, "Let him who is without sin cast the first stone." And one by one, they dropped their stones and walked away, starting with the oldest ones who had the longest lists of failures and ending with the youngest. When they were all gone, I looked at the woman still trembling in the dust and said, "Woman, where are your accusers? Has no one condemned you?" She looked around in amazement and whispered, No one, Lord. And I told her, Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more. This is the kind of forgiveness I offer you, complete, total, without reservation. I do not condemn you. I do not hold your past against you. I do not throw stones at you for your failures. I pick you up out of the dust. I dust you off. I set you on your feet, and I send you forward into a new life. This is the grace that I'm extending to you right now. Will you receive it? If this message moved you and you want a next step, join the 7-day forgiveness practice. Take that one next step today. Don't wait. And because I have forgiven you so completely, I am asking you to extend that same forgiveness to others, not because they deserve it, for that woman did not deserve my mercy either, but because forgiveness is who I am. And when you forgive, you become more like me. When you release those who have hurt you, you are acting in my character. When you choose mercy over bitterness, you are walking in my ways. When you let go of the need for revenge, you are trusting in my justice, for forgiveness transforms you into my image. I know there are people in your life right now who are very difficult to forgive. Their offenses were severe. Their actions caused lasting damage. The wound they inflicted changed the course of your life. And I am not minimizing what they did. I am not saying it was acceptable, but I am asking you to trust me with them. I am asking you to release them from the debt you feel they owe you. I am asking you to forgive, not for their sake, but for yours. Not because they deserve it, but because you deserve to be free. Picture the unforgiveness as a rope that connects you to the person who hurt you. As long as you hold on to that rope, you are tied to them. Wherever they go in your thoughts, you go too. Whatever they did keeps being done to you over and over again. But when you forgive, you let go of your end of the rope. They may still be holding on, but you are no longer connected. You are free to walk in any direction you want. You are no longer bound to them by bitterness. The rope falls to the ground, and you are released. Some of you have been holding on to that rope for so long that your hands have blisters. Your fingers are cramped from gripping so tightly. The weight of the connection has exhausted you. The constant pulling and tension has drained all your energy. So today, I am asking you to just open your hands. Let go. Feel the relief as the tension releases. Watch as the rope falls away. Step back and realize that you are no longer tied to the past. You are free. You have always been free. But now you know it. Now you are living it. Now you are walking in the freedom that forgiveness brings. I want to speak now about how forgiveness affects your prayers. For there is a connection between your willingness to forgive others and your ability to receive from me. I taught my disciples to pray, "Forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors." And this was not a casual suggestion. It was a profound spiritual principle. The measure of forgiveness you extend is connected to the measure of forgiveness you experience. So when you hold on to unforgiveness, you create a blockage in your spiritual life. Your prayers feel like they're hitting the ceiling. Your connection with me feels strained. The flow of my blessings into your life is hindered. But when you release those who have hurt you, the blockage is removed. The channel between you and me is open and clear. Your prayers carry new power because they come from a pure heart. Your worship goes deeper because nothing is holding you back. Your experience of my presence becomes richer because the barriers have been removed. The blessings that were held back begin to flow freely, not because I am punishing you for unforgiveness, but because unforgiveness creates a condition in your heart that makes it difficult to fully receive what I am trying to give you. So forgiveness opens your heart to receive everything I have for you. Think about how often you have asked me to forgive you. Every day, multiple times a day. You come to me with your failures, your shortcomings, the times you fell short of my standards. And every day, I forgive you freely and completely. I do not make you earn it. I do not make you prove that you are worthy. I do not keep a record of how many times you have asked before. I just pour out my mercy, because that is who I am. Now I am asking you to do for others what I have done for you, not because they deserve it, not because they have earned it, not because they have apologized or changed their ways, but because this is the way of my kingdom. We forgive because we have been forgiven. When you struggle to forgive someone, remember how much I have forgiven you. Remember the things you have done that you are most ashamed of. Remember the thoughts you have had that you hope no one ever discovers. Remember the words you have spoken that you wish you could take back. Remember the countless times you have fallen short of who you wanted to be. I have forgiven all of it. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing. Super thanks from $50 to $100. Every single bit without hesitation, without reservation, without keeping score. So if I can forgive all of that in you, surely you can find the strength to forgive the person who has wounded you. I am not saying it will be easy. I am not saying the pain will disappear overnight. I am not saying you will never have to deal with the memories again, but I am saying that forgiveness is possible. I am saying that freedom is available. I am saying that you do not have to carry this weight for one more day. Today can be the day you start walking in a different direction. Today can be the day you take the first step toward healing. Today can be the day you open your hands and let go of the rope. So let me speak to those of you who are struggling to forgive me. I know that some of you are angry with me. You feel like I let you down. You prayed for something and I did not answer the way you wanted. You trusted me and things did not turn out the way you hoped. You wonder why I allowed painful things to happen to you. You wonder why I did not protect you. You wonder why I did not intervene when you needed me most. And that anger has created distance between us. You are not sure you can trust me anymore. You are not sure I am really good. You are not sure I really love you. And I understand your questions. I understand your doubts. I am not offended by your anger. I am big enough to handle your honest feelings. I would rather you bring your frustration to me than pretend everything is fine while secretly resenting me. So come to me with your questions. Tell me about your disappointments. Share with me the ways you feel I have failed you. I can take it. And then let me show you something you may not have considered. You do not have all the information. You see only a tiny fragment of reality. You see the present, but I see the future. You see the event, but I see the purpose. You see the pain, but I see the redemption that is coming. There are things that happened in your life that seemed terrible at the time, but later you realize they were leading you somewhere important. There are doors that closed that felt like rejection, but later you saw that they were protection. There are prayers that were not answered the way you wanted, but later you were grateful they were not. I am asking you to trust me even when you do not understand. I am asking you to believe that I am good even when your circumstances do not feel good. I am asking you to hold on to faith even when the evidence seems to contradict it. For this is the nature of trust. It is believing when you cannot see. It is holding on when everything screams to let go. It is choosing to believe that I am working all things together for your good, even when you cannot imagine how that could possibly be true. For I have never left you. Even in the moments when you felt most alone, I was there. Even in the darkest nights, I was holding you. Even when you could not feel my presence, I was right beside you, guiding your steps, protecting you from dangers you never knew about, preparing good things that you have not seen yet. So your story is not over. The pain you have experienced is not the final chapter. There is more coming, so much more, and it is good. Will you trust me? Will you forgive me for not being the God you thought I should be? Will you let me be who I am and believe that who I am is enough? I want to give you a vision of what your life can look like on the other side. Dia forgiveness, I want you to see the future that is waiting for you when you finally let go of the past. I see you walking in complete freedom. The heaviness that has been on your shoulders for so long, you stand up straighter, you breathe more deeply, you laugh more easily. The constant low-grade anxiety that was your companion for so long has been replaced by peace. You wake up in the morning with expectation instead of dread. You go through your days with energy instead of exhaustion. You have found a lightness that you did not know was possible. As sense of being unburdened that makes everything feel different. Is you experiencing deep and meaningful relationships? The walls you built have come down. You are able to be vulnerable with people who have proven themselves trustworthy. You give and receive love freely without the constant fear of being hurt. You are not constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop, waiting for people to hurt you the way you have been hurt before. You have learned to discern who is safe and who is not, and you invest in their relationships that are healthy while maintaining appropriate distance from those that are not. You are no longer isolated. You are no longer alone. You are surrounded by people who genuinely love you and see you walking in your purpose. The things that unforgiveness was holding back are now flowing freely. Your gifts are being used. Your talents are being developed. Your calling is being fulfilled. You are making a difference in the lives of others. You are leaving a legacy that will outlast your years on earth. The enemy tried to use your pain to sideline you, but I have turned it around. Now your story of healing is helping others find their own path to freedom. What was meant to destroy you has become the source of your greatest ministry. Is you experiencing my presence deeper ways than ever before? The barrier that unforgiveness created between you is gone. You come into my presence with confidence. You hear my voice clearly. You sense my guidance in your decisions. You feel my love surrounding you constantly. Our relationship is rich and intimate. Prayer is no longer a duty but a delight. Worship is no longer an obligation but an overflow. You know me, you know that you are known by me, and I see you living in peace, not the peace that comes from having no problems, but the peace that remains in the midst of problems. The kind of peace that does not make sense to people who don't know me. The kind of peace that says, I don't know how this is going to work out, but I know who holds my future, and I trust him. So circumstances no longer have the power to shake you. People no longer have the power to devastate you. You are anchored in something deeper than anything this world can't throw at you. You are anchored in me. This is the life that is waiting for you. This is what becomes possible when you walk in forgiveness. This is the freedom I am offering you today. All you have to do is choose it. All you have to do is let go. All you have to do is trust me with the people who hurt you and with your own failures, and I will do the rest. I will heal the wounds. I will break the chains. I will lead you into the abundant life I promised you. Let me share with you some testimonies of transformation stories of people who made the choice to forgive and found their lives completely changed. These stories are not meant to make forgiveness seem easy, because it is not, but they are meant to show you that forgiveness is possible, and that the freedom on the other side is real and lasting. There was a woman who had been abused by her father throughout her childhood. The wounds were deep, the memories painful, the scars lasting for decades. She carried the weight of that trauma, and it affected every area of her life. She struggled in relationships because she could not trust. She battled with depression and anxiety. She felt dirty, damaged, unworthy of love. And underneath it all was a burning hat for the man who had stolen her childhood. One day she heard me speaking to her about forgiveness. No excusing what her father had done, not pretending it did not happen, not minimizing the severity of the abuse, but releasing the bitterness that was destroying her from the inside out. And at first she resisted. How could she forgive something so evil? How could she release someone who had done such damage? But I kept speaking to her gently, persistently, showing her that the unforgiveness was keeping her trapped in the trauma, reliving it over and over again. So finally she made the choice. It was not a single moment, but a process that took time. She had to forgive her father many times as different memories surfaced and new layers of pain were uncovered. But she kept choosing forgiveness, kept releasing the bitterness, kept trusting me with the justice that was owed. And something miraculous happened. The depression began to lift, the anxiety loosened its grip. She started to feel clean, whole, valuable. She was able to enter into healthy relationships for the first time. She found her voice and began helping other survivors of abuse find their own path to healing. So the thing that almost destroyed her became the platform for her greatest ministry. Forgiveness did not change what happened to her, but it changed how it affected her. It took away the power of the past to control her present and her future. Just as it did man whose business partner embezzled millions from their company and left him facing financial ruin. He lost everything, his savings, his home, his reputation, and the partner fled to another country and was never brought to justice. So for years, the man was consumed with bitterness, fantasized about revenge. He watched and waited for karma to catch up. He spent his days obsessing over the injustice and his nights unable to sleep because of the anger. The bitterness cost him his marriage because his wife could not live with his constant rage. It cost him his health because the stress was destroying his body. It cost them years of his life that he could never get back. Years spent in the prison of unforgiveness while the partner was living free in another country, probably not giving a single thought to the man he had destroyed. Finally, the man hit bottom. He had lost everything, and the only thing he had left was his bitterness. And in that moment, I met him. It showed him that his unforgiveness was not hurting the partner at all. The partner was not suffering. The only person being destroyed was the man himself. I offered him a choice. He could continue on the path he was on, holding on to the bitterness until it killed him, or he could let go, release the partner to me justice, and start rebuilding his life. So he chose forgiveness. It was the hardest thing he had ever done. Everything inside him screamed that it was not fair, that the partner did not deserve to be released, that justice demanded he keep holding on but let go anyway. And when he did, something broke inside him, not something that needed to stay intact, but something that had been keeping him imprisoned. The chains fell off, the obsession ended. He stopped thinking about the partner constantly. He started sleeping again. His health began to improve, and eventually, he built his business smaller than before, but sustainable. He found love again with a woman who appreciated the man he had become through the trial. And when he looked back, he could see that the years of bitterness had cost him far more than the embezzlement ever did, for the partner had stolen his money. But the unforgiveness had stolen his life, and when he forgave, he got this life back. If this story stirred something in you, type "I'm choosing freedom." in the comments. Declare it now and take the first step. There was a mother whose son was killed by a drunk driver. The driver served only a few years in prison and was released. The mother was consumed with Hat Red. She spent hours imagining what she would do if she ever encountered the driver. He attended every parole hearing, fighting to keep him locked up, pouring all her energy into making sure he suffered as much as possible. But no matter what she did, it was never enough. Her son was still gone. Her pain was still unbearable, and the Hat Red was eating her alive. I spoke to her about forgiveness, and she was furious. How could I ask her to forgive the person who killed her child? How could I expect her to release as someone who had done the unforgivable? She fought me for years, holding on to her Hat Red like a life preserver, believing that it was the only thing keeping her connected to her son. But eventually, the Hat Red became too heavy to carry. It was destroying her health, her relationships, her ability to function. She was not living anymore. She was just surviving, dragging herself through each day with the weight of unforgiveness crushing her, and in a moment of desperation, she cried out to me. She told me she could not do it, she could not forgive, it was impossible. And I told her she was right. In her own strength it was impossible, but with my help, nothing is impossible. So we walked through it together. Not all at once, but step by step. She released a little, then took it back, then released a little more. She screamed and cried and fought against it, but she kept choosing over and over to let go, and slowly, almost imperceptibly at first, the weight began to lift. The Hat Red began to loosen its grip. She found she could think about her son without being overwhelmed by rage. She could remember the good times without the memory being poisoned by bitterness. And eventually, she did something new and unexpected. Least of all herself, she reached out to the driver she met with him. She told him about her son, about the life he had taken, about the hole he had left in her world. And then she told him she forgave him, not because he deserved it, not because what it did was acceptable, but because she could not carry the Hat Red anymore, because forgiveness was for her, not for him, because she needed to be free. The driver broke down in tears. He had been carrying guilt that was destroying him too. So her forgiveness did not erase the consequences of what he had done, but it released him from the weight of her Hat Red, and it released her from the prison of her own bitterness. She found a freedom she never thought possible. She started a foundation in her son's name to fight drunk driving. So what the enemy meant for evil, it turned for good. Her son's death was not redeemed because nothing can make that right. But her life was redeemed. Her purpose was found. Her freedom was real. Know someone carrying a wound like this? Share this message with them right now. One share could be the lifeline they need. These stories are not meant to minimize your pain or to make forgiveness seem simple. Every one of these people fought against forgiveness with everything they had. Every one of them thought it was impossible. Every one of them had to walk through a process that took time, that involved setbacks, that required choosing over and over again to release what they wanted to hold on to. But every one of them found freedom on the other side. Every one of them discovered that forgiveness was not about letting the offender off the hook, but about getting themselves off the hook of bitterness. Every one of them would tell you that it was worth it. Your story can be one of these testimonies. Your journey through forgiveness can become a beacon of hope for others who are still trapped in bitterness. The very thing that wounded you can become the platform for your greatest impact. For I don't waste anything. I take what the enemy meant for evil and turn it for good. I take your pain and transform it into purpose. I take your mess and turn it into a message, but first, you have to forgive first. You have to let go first. You have to trust me with the people who hurt you and with the justice that is owed. I know it feels impossible. I know everything inside you is resisting, but I am asking you to trust me. I am asking you to take the first step, even though you cannot see the whole staircase. I am asking you to believe that freedom is real, even though you have been in prison so long that you have forgotten what freedom feels like. Take my hand. Let me lead you through this. We will walk together step by step, moment by moment, choice by choice. Every time the bitterness rises up, we will face it together. Every time the memories threaten to overwhelm you, I will be there to hold you. Every time you want to give up and go back to the familiar prison of unforgiveness, I will remind you of the freedom that is waiting. You don't have to do this perfectly. You just have to keep choosing, keep forgiving, keep releasing, keep trusting. And I promise you, there is a day coming when you will look back on this season of your life and marvel at how far you have come. You will barely recognize the bitter person you used to be. You will wonder how you ever carried that weight for so long, and you will be so grateful that you made the choice to forgive, for that day is coming. It ma ye not be today, it may not be tomorrow, but it is coming, and every step you take in the direction of forgiveness brings it closer. Every time you choose to let go instead of hold on, you move further from the prison and closer to freedom. So keep walking, keep choosing, keep trusting, for the destination is worth the journey. My precious child, I love you more than you can comprehend. I want you to be free more than you want it for yourself. I have been waiting for this moment, the moment when you are finally ready to release the past and step into your future. So do not let fear hold you back. Do not let the enemy convince you that forgiveness is too hard or that you are not ready. For you are ready. The very fact that you are hearing these words is proof that the time has come. The season of your freedom is here. The day of your healing has arrived. The moment of your breakthrough is now. Take a deep breath, close your eyes if you can, and in the quietness of your heart, begin to name the people you need to forgive. See their faces. Remember what they did. Feel the old pain one last time. And then, with all the strength I am giving you, say these words: I forgive you, I release you, I am letting go, I am choosing freedom, I am trusting God with you and with me, I am walking into my future, I am leaving the past behind, I am free. Now say it out loud with me: I forgive you, I release you, I am letting go. Say it again until you feel the chains begin to loosen. Say it again: I am free. Say it until you believe it. Say it until you feel it. Say it until the chains start to fall off. Say it until the weight lifts from your shoulders. Say it until the tears of bitterness turn into tears of joy. You are free, my child. You have always been free. But now you know it. Now you are living it. Now you are walking in it. So go forward from this moment changed. Do not go back to the old ways of thinking. When the enemy tries to bring up the past, remind him that has been dealt with. When the old hurts surface, take them immediately to me. When you are tempted to pick up the bitterness again, remember how much lighter you feel without it, for you have come too far to go back. No, you have tasted freedom, and slavery will never be acceptable again. I am so proud of you. I know how hard this is. I know how much courage it takes to forgive. I know that part of you wanted to hold on to the hurt forever. But you chose freedom, you chose healing, you chose me. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100, and I will honor that choice with blessings you cannot imagine. Your obedience in this area is opening doors that have been locked for years. Your willingness to forgive is releasing favor that has been held back. Your decision to let go is accelerating the timeline of your destiny. So good things are coming, things that would not have been possible if you had stayed bound by unforgiveness. Walk forward in confidence, walk forward in peace, walk forward in joy, for the past is behind you, the future is before you, and I am with you every step of the way. You are forgiven, you are forgiving, you are free. Remember that forgiveness is not a one-time event, but a lifestyle. Every day people will do things that hurt you. Some hurts will be minor, easily released. Others will be more significant, requiring more intentional work. But you now have the tools, you now have the understanding, you now have the experience of walking through forgiveness and coming out the other side. Use what you have learned, apply it quickly. Do not let offenses pile up. Deal with the mass they come. Keep short accounts with people and with me. Vain a constant state of release and share what you have learned with others. There are so many people walking around wounded, bitter, chained to their past. They need to hear what you now know. They need to see what forgiveness looks like lived out. They need someone to come alongside them and say, I know how hard this is, and I also know that freedom is possible. So be that person for someone. Let your journey of forgiveness become a light that guides others out of their own darkness. I have spoken many words to you today, words of truth, words of healing, words of freedom, but words without action are just noise. So I am asking you to do something with what you have heard. I am asking you to take the step. I am asking you to make the choice. I am asking you to forgive starting now. Starting today, starting with whoever comes to mind first. Do not wait until you feel like it. Do not wait until the circumstances are right. Do not wait until the person apologizes. Forgive now. Choose freedom now. Step into your future now. You have everything you need to do this. My spirit within you gives you the strength. My word has given you the understanding. My love surrounds you with courage. So you are not doing this alone. We're doing this together. And together there is nothing we cannot accomplish. Now, ound too deep to heal. No bitterness too entrenched to root out. No chain too strong to break. With meal things are possible. Even this. Especially this. So I bless you with peace that passes understanding. I bless you with joy that comes from complete freedom. I bless you with love that casts out all fear. I bless you with relationships that are healthy and life-giving. I bless you with purpose that is being fulfilled. I bless you with a future that is bright with hope. I bless you with every spiritual blessing in the heavenly places. I bless you with my presence now and always. Go in peace, my beloved child. You are forgiven, you are healed, you are free. The past no longer has power over you. The future is wide open before you, and I am with you, walking beside you, guiding you, protecting you, loving you with an everlasting love that will never let you go. This is my word to you today. This is my promise that stands forever. This is the truth that will set you free and keep you free. Receive it, believe it, live it, and watch as everything begins to change. For I will never stop loving you. I will never stop forgiving you. I will never stop working for your good, and I will never stop calling you to walk in the freedom that is your birthright as my child. You were not made for chains. You were made for freedom. You were not made for bitterness. You were made for joy. You were not made for the prison of unforgiveness. You were made for the open skies of grace. So step out of the prison. The door has been open this whole time. I have been waiting for you to realize that the chains were broken long ago. You are free, my child, free to live, free to love, free to dream, free to become everything I created you to be. This is your moment. This is your time. This is your breakthrough. Walk in it, run in it, dance in it, celebrate it. The season of captivity is over. The season of freedom has begun, and it will never end because my grace is sufficient for you. My power is made perfect in your weakness, and my love for you is stronger than any hurt, any wound, any offense that has ever tried to hold you down. You are victorious. You are more than a conqueror. You are seated with me in heavenly places. And from that position of authority, you look down on the hurts of the past. See them for what they are. Small, temporary, already defeated. They have no power over you anymore. They never really did. But now you know it. Now you believe it. Now you are living from that truth. And I am so pleased with you, my child. So proud of your courage. So honored by your trust. So moved by your willingness to forgive. For this is the heart I have been cultivating in you all along. A heart of mercy, a heart of grace, a heart that reflects my own heart. You are becoming more like me every day, and that is the greatest thing that can happen to any human being, to be transformed into my image from glory to glory, becoming more loving, more forgiving, more free. So keep going, keep growing, keep forgiving, keep trusting, keep walking with me, for the journey is not over. There is so much more ahead, so much more healing, so much more freedom, so much more of me to discover, and I cannot wait to show you. I cannot wait to take you to places you have never been. I cannot wait to reveal things you have never seen. I cannot wait to do things in your life that will leave you speechless with wonder, for it all begins with forgiveness. It all begins here. It all begins now. Welcome to freedom, my beloved child. Welcome home. And I want to speak to you about the ripple effects of your forgiveness. Because when you choose to forgive, you are not just changing your own life. You are changing the lives of everyone around you. You're breaking a cycle that may have been running in your family for generations. You are stopping the poison of bitterness from spreading any further. Think about where your unforgiveness came from. Maybe you learned it from watching your parents hold grudges against each other. Maybe you grew up in an environment where bitterness was normal, where people talked badly about each other, where forgiveness was seen as weakness. Maybe the people who raised you modeled unforgiveness and you absorbed it without even realizing it. The way you handle hurt was shaped by what you saw growing up. But here's the powerful truth. You can be the one who breaks the cycle. You can be the one the pattern of unforgiveness stops with me. It will not continue to my children. It will not poison the next generation. I am choosing a different way. When you forgive, you are not just freeing yourself. You are freeing your children from inheriting your bitterness. You are freeing your grandchildren from a legacy of grudges. You are changing the spiritual atmosphere of your entire family line. For your children are watching you. They are learning from you how to handle hurt. They are absorbing your attitudes about forgiveness. If they see you holding on to bitterness, nursing grudges, speaking badly about people who have wronged you, they will learn that this is how you deal with pain. But if they see you choosing forgiveness, extending grace, releasing people who have hurt you, they will learn that there is another way. So you are teaching them more by your example than you ever could with your words. Think about the people in your life who will be affected by your freedom. Your spouse will have a healthier partner, someone who is not weighed down by bitterness, someone who can love freely without the shadow of past hurts darkening every interaction. Your children will have a parent who is present, who is not constantly distracted by old wounds, who can give them the attention and affection they deserve. Your friends will have someone who is a joy to be around, who is not always bringing up old grievances, who can celebrate with them without jealousy or resentment. Your coworkers will have a colleague who is focused and productive, who is not dragging workplace drama into every meeting, who can collaborate without hidden agendas. Because the people around you can feel when you're carrying unforgiveness. They may not be able to name it, but they sense something is off. There is a heaviness about you, a defense. Ivaness, a guardedness that makes it hard to get close to you. But when you release the bitterness, that changes. You become lighter, more approachable, more open. People want to be around you because there is a peace about you that draws them in. So your forgiveness does not just change you. It changes the way others experience you. I want to talk to you about practical ways to walk in forgiveness every day. For this is not just a one-time decision you make and then forget about. Forgiveness is a lifestyle, a daily practice, a way of being in the world. So let me give you some tools to help you maintain the freedom you are stepping into today. First, start each day with a cleanse slate before your feet hit the floor in the morning. Take a moment to release any bitterness that may have crept in overnight. Sometimes our minds process hurts while we sleep, and we wake up feeling angry or resentful. So before you start your day, consciously choose to forgive anyone who has wronged. You say it out loud, if I need to. I release everyone who has hurt me. I choose to walk in forgiveness today. Starting your day this way sets the tone for everything that follows. So second, deal with offenses quickly. Do not let hurts pile up. When someone does something that wounds you, address it as soon as possible. This doesn't always mean confronting the person, although sometimes that is necessary. It means processing the hurt with me, acknowledging it, and choosing to forgive before bitterness has a chance to take root. The longer you wait to forgive, the harder it becomes. So deal with offenses while they are still fresh before they have time to grow into something bigger. And third, practice blessing those who curse you. This is one of the most powerful disciplines you can develop. When someone hurts you, instead of cursing them back, bless them. Pray for good things to come to them. Ask me to work in their life to heal whatever brokenness led them to hurt you. This is incredibly difficult at first, but it becomes easier with practice, and it transforms you in ways you cannot imagine, for it is impossible to hold on to bitterness towards someone you are actively blessing. Fourth, keep a gratitude journal focused on forgiveness. Write down the times when you have been forgiven. Remember the offenses that have been released both by me and by others, and when you are struggling to forgive someone, look back at your journal and remember how much you have been forgiven. Let that gratitude fuel your ability to extend grace to others. Fifth, find a trusted friend who can hold you accountable. Tell them about your journey toward forgiveness. Give them permission to ask you hard questions. Let them check in with you when they know you're struggling with bitterness. Sometimes we need someone outside of our own head to help us see when we're slipping back into old patterns. A good accountability partner can be invaluable in maintaining your freedom. Right now, tag or message one person who will be your accountability partner. Take that relational step this hour. Sixth, memorize verses about forgiveness. Fill your mind with my words so that when bitterness tries to take hold, you have truth to combat it. When you are tempted to nurse a grudge, let my words rise up in you. Forgive as the Lord forgave you. Be kind to one another. Tender-hearted, forgiving one another. As I have forgiven you in Christ, love your enemies and pray for those who persecute you. Let these words become so familiar that they automatically come to mind when you face the temptation to hold on to offense. And seventh, celebrate your victories. When you successfully forgive someone who hurt you, acknowledge it. Thank me for the strength to let go. Recognize the progress you are making. Do not minimize your growth for every act of forgiveness, no matter how small, is a victory. Every time you choose to release, instead of hold on, you are winning. So celebrate those wins. They will give you momentum for the bigger battles ahead. I also want to address some common misconceptions about forgiveness that may be holding you back. These lies have kept many people trapped in bitterness, and I want to set the record straight. Some people think that forgiveness means the hurt was not that bad. They resist forgiving because they feel like it minimizes what was done to them. But that is not true at all. Forgiveness does not diminish the offense. In fact, it acknowledges it. You can only forgive something that was genuinely wrong. If it was not wrong, there would be nothing to forgive. So when you forgive, you are saying, kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. What you did was wrong, and I am choosing to release you anyway. Which actually validates the hurt more than bitterness does, because it once names it as an offense while choosing to let go. Some people think that forgiveness means they are weak. They believe that holding on to anger makes them strong, that it proves they will not be pushed around. But the opposite is true. Anyone can hold a grudge. It takes no strength at all to nurse bitterness. But forgiveness requires incredible strength. It takes real power to choose mercy when you have every right to demand justice. It takes courage to release someone who does not deserve to be released. So forgiveness is not weakness. It is one of the strongest things you can do. And some people think that forgiveness means they have to trust the person again. They are afraid that if they forgive, they will have to let the person back into their life, give them another chance to hurt them. But forgiveness and trust are two different things. Forgiveness can be given freely without conditions. Trust must be earned over time. You can forgive someone completely while still maintaining healthy boundaries. You can release them from the debt they owe you while still protecting yourself from future harm. Forgiveness does not require you to be naive or foolish. Some people think that forgiveness means the person will not face consequences. They resist forgiving because they feel like it lets the person off the hook. But forgiveness does not eliminate consequences. If someone committed a crime, they can still face legal consequences even if you forgive them. If someone broke trust, they may still lose their relationship even if you forgive. Forgiveness releases you from the burden of seeking revenge, but it does not mean there are no consequences for wrong actions. I am a God of justice, and I will make all things right in the end. Your forgiveness does not prevent that. And some people think that forgiveness is a feeling. They wait until they feel like forgiving before they do it. They think that true forgiveness happens when the hurt no longer bothers them. But forgiveness is a decision, not an emotion. It is an act of your will that you choose to make regardless of how you feel. The feelings may feel loud, but they may not. You may forgive someone and still feel pain when you think about what they did. That does not mean you have not forgiven them. It means you are human, for forgiveness is a choice you make, not an emotion you have. Some people think that if they still remember the hurt, they have not really forgiven. They expect that true forgiveness will erase the memory entirely. But that is not how it works. You may always remember what was done to you. The goal is not amnesia. The goal is for the memory to lose its power over you, so when you have truly forgiven, you can remember the offense without being overcome by it. The memory becomes like a scar or reminder of what happened, but no longer an open wound that causes constant pain. Let me speak now about the freedom that comes when you stop waiting for an apology that may never come. So many people stay trapped in unforgiveness because they are waiting for the other person to acknowledge what they did, to say they are sorry, to take responsibility for the hurt they caused. But that apology may never come. Some people are not capable of seeing what they did wrong. Some people have too much pride to admit it. Some people have moved on and forgotten all about you, and some people are no longer alive to apologize even if they wanted to. If your freedom depends on getting an apology, you may wait forever. You have given someone else the key to your prison cell, and they may never use it. They may not even know they have it. But here is the truth. You do not need their apology to forgive them. You do not need them to admit they were wrong. You do not need them to take responsibility. You can forgive them right now exactly as they are without them doing anything at all. Your forgiveness is not contingent on their repentance. It is a gift you give yourself regardless of what they do or do not do. And this is one of the most liberating truths you can embrace. You are not waiting for them anymore. You are not depending on them. Your freedom is in your own hands. You can choose right now to forgive them completely without any input from them at all, and when you do, you take back the power you had given them. You are no longer at their mercy waiting for them to do the right thing. You are free. I want to tell you about a man who learned this lesson in a powerful way. He had been betrayed by his business partner, someone he had trusted completely. The partner had stolen from him, lied about him, and destroyed his reputation. He lost everything, his business, his savings, his good name in the community, and the partner never admitted what he did. He went on with his life as if nothing had happened. While this man was left to pick up the pieces, for years she held on to bitterness. He fantasized about the day when the truth would come out, when everyone would see what the partner had really done. He waited for an apology that never came. He watched and waited for karma to catch up, for the partner to suffer the way he had suffered, but nothing happened. The partner seemed to prosper while he struggled. Finally, the man came to him in desperation. He was exhausted from carrying the bitterness. If that affected his health, his relationships, his ability to enjoy anything good in his life, and it showed him the truth. His unforgiveness was not hurting the partner at all. The partner was not losing sleep over what he had done. The only person being destroyed by the bitterness was the man himself. He was drinking poison and waiting for the partner to die, so when he finally chose to forgive, something miraculous happened. The weight lifted, the obsession ended. He stopped thinking about the partner constantly. He stopped watching for karma to catch up. He stopped waiting for an apology. He released the partner from the debt the felt was owed, and in doing so, he released himself from the prison he had been living in. His health improved, his relationships were restored. He was able to start a new business and find success again, not because the partner ever apologized, not because justice was served, but because he chose to forgive anyway. That is the power of forgiveness. It sets you free regardless of what the other person does. It puts the key in your own hand so you don't have to wait for anyone else to open the door. It breaks the chain that has been tying you to the past so you can walk into the future unhindered. So I want to speak to those of you who are struggling to forgive because the person who hurt you was supposed to protect you. This is one of the deepest wounds, the wound of betrayal by a protector. A parent who abused you instead of nurturing you. A spouse who violated the sacred trust of marriage. A spiritual leader who used their position to manipulate or harm you, a doctor who took advantage of your vulnerability, a teacher who exploited their authority. When the person who was supposed to be safe becomes the source of your greatest pain, it creates a wound that goes to the very core of your being. Is that wound? I know how deep it goes. I understand why forgiveness feels impossible in these cases. The betrayal was so complete, so devastating, so fundamentally wrong. How can you forgive someone who was supposed to protect you and instead became your greatest threat? How can you? You release someone who violated the most sacred trust first. I want to validate your pain. What happened to you should never have happened. The person who was supposed to protect you failed in the most fundamental way. That failure was not your fault. You did nothing to deserve it. You were not too much or too little. You were not asking for it by being who you were. The failure was entirely theirs, and it was deeply, grievously wrong. Second, I want you to know that forgiving them does not mean minimizing what they did. You can acknowledge the full horror of their betrayal and still choose to release them. In fact, true forgiveness requires that you first face the full truth of what was done. You cannot forgive something you have not first acknowledged. So name it. Call it what it was. Abuse, betrayal, violation. Do not soften it. Do not make excuses for them. Face the truth and then choose forgiveness anyway. Third, I want you to know that forgiveness does not mean they escape justice. If crimes were committed, they can still face legal consequences. If professional boundaries were violated, they can still lose their license or position. Your forgiveness does not give them a pass. It simply releases you from the burden of being their judge and executioner. I am the ultimate judge, and nothing escapes my notice. Trust me to handle them in my way and my time. Fourth, I want you to know that forgiveness does not mean reconciliation. You don't have to have a relationship with someone who has proven they cannot be trusted with your safety. You can forgive from a distance. You can release them without ever seeing them again. Boundaries are not just okay in these situations. They are essential. Protect yourself. Keep yourself safe and do that while still choosing to release the bitterness from your heart. Finally, I want you to know that healing is possible. I have seen people recover from the deepest ounce of betrayal. I have watched them go from shattered to whole, from bitter to free, from victim to victor. It doesn't happen overnight. It is a process that takes time, often with the help of professional counselors who specialize in trauma. But it does happen. You will not always feel the way you feel right now. There is a future where this wound no longer defines you, where you can think about it without being overwhelmed, where you have integrated what happened into your story without letting it take over the whole narrative. that future is possible, and forgiveness is part of the path that leads there. Let me leave you with one more picture, one more image to carry with you as you walk out of this moment and into your new life. Imagine it that you are standing at the edge of a cliff looking down into a deep canyon, and in your hands you are holding a heavy bag. This bag contains all the unforgiveness you've been carrying. Every offense, every hurt, every memory that has caused you pain. The bag is so heavy that your arms are shaking, your back is itching, your whole body is exhausted from carrying this weight. Now imagine letting go. Imagine opening your fingers and watching that bag fall down into the canyon. Watch it get smaller and smaller as it falls. Watch it disappear. Into the depths, listen for the sound of it hitting the bottoms of a railway that you can barely hear it. That bag is gone. It is no longer your burden to carry. It's out of your hands and into the abyss. Take a breath. Notice how your arms feel. Notice how your shoulders feel. Notice how your whole body feels lighter. You did not realize how much energy it was taking just to hold on to that weight. But now that it's gone, you have so much more capacity, so much more strength, so much more freedom. That is what I am offering you. I am offering you the chance to let go of the bag. 2. Stop carrying what was never meant to be. Yours to carry, to experience the lightness of living without the weight of unforgiveness. So will you take it? Will you open your hands? Will you let the bag fall? The choice is yours. I will not force you, but I want you to know what is waiting for you on the other side of that choice. Freedom, peace, joy, love, purpose. All of that is full and abundant, a future that is bright with hope, a relationship with me that is deep and intimate. All of this is available to you. All of this becomes possible when you choose to forgive. So choose it, choose freedom, choose healing, choose forgiveness, choose me. And watch as it take the broken pieces of your past and transform them into something beautiful. Watch as it turn your pain into purpose, your wounds into wisdom, your mess into a message that will help others find their own way to freedom. You are not defined by what was done to you. Are not limited by the pain of your past. You are not stuck in the prison of unforgiveness. You are my child, dearly loved, deeply valued, completely forgiven. And today is the first day of the rest of your life, a life of freedom, a life of peace, a life of walking hand in hand with the one who loves you more than you can possibly imagine. This is my word to you. This is my promise. This is my heart. Receive it, believe it, live it. You are forgiven, you are forgiving, you are free. Before I close this message, I want to speak directly to some specific situations that may be to the one who was abandoned by a parent. I see the wound that was created when the person who was supposed to stay left. I understand the questions that have haunted you ever since. Why was it enough to make them stay? What is wrong with meth that they could just walk away? The wound of abandonment runs deep because it strikes at your sense of worth, your sense of being lovable, your sense of belonging. You've spent years trying to prove that you are worth staying for, trying to earn the love that should have been given freely, trying to fill the hole that their absence created. But I want you to know that their leaving had nothing to do with your value. They left because of something broken inside them, not because of anything lacking in you. You were worthy of a parent who stayed, who fought for you, who chose you every single day. So the fact that they could not give you, that does not diminish your worth. It only reveals their brokenness. And I am asking you to forgive them, not to excuse what they did, but to free yourself from the prison of their abandonment. You do not have to spend the rest of your life trying to prove that you are worth staying for. You always have been. Their inability to see that changes nothing about your inherent value. To the one who was abused by someone who should have protected you, I weep with you over what was stolen. I grieve the innocence that was taken, the safety that was shattered, the trust that was violated. What happened to you was evil. There is no softer word for it. It was a grievous wrong that should never have happened. And the fact that it came from someone who was supposed to keep you safe makes it even more devastating. so I am no tasky. You to minimize what happened or to pretend it was less than it was. I am not asking you to trust the person or to have a relationship with them. I am asking you to release the bitterness that has been poisoning your soul, not for their sake, but for yours. The abuse took so much for you, not let it take more by keeping you trapped in a prison of hatred. You can hold them accountable and still release the bitterness. You can pursue justice and still choose forgiveness. You can protect yourself from future harm and still let go of the poison that is destroying you. On the inside out, to the one whose spouse was unfaithful, I know the devastation of that betrayal. I know how it felt to discover that the one you trusted most had given themselves to another. I know the questions that have tortured you. What did they have that I did not? How could they do this to me? Was our entire relationship alien? The wound of infidelity cuts to the very core of who you are, making you question your desirability, your worth, your ability to be enough for another person. But I want you to know that their unfaithfulness was not your fault. It was not because you were not attractive enough, attentive enough, exciting enough. Their choice to betray you reveals a brokenness in them, not a deficiency in you. And I am asking you to forgive them whether their relationship continues or not. If you are rebuilding your marriage, forgiveness is essential. If their relationship has ended, forgiveness is still essential for your own freedom. You cannot heal from this wound while holding on to bitterness. You cannot move forward while constantly looking back. So forgive them, release them, and trust me to lead you into the future I have planned for you. To the one who was passed over for someone less qualified, I see the frustration, the sense of injustice, the feeling of being invisible. You worked hard. You did everything right. You deserved that promotion, that position, a top opportunity, and yet it went to someone who did not work as hard, who did not sacrifice as much, who did not deserve it the way you did. The unfairness of it burns inside you, and you play it over and over, wondering what you could have done differently, wondering if the game is rigged against you. But I want you to know that I see your work, I see your sacrifice, I see all the times you went above and beyond when Noon was watching. And I want you to know that your reward does not come from human sources. The people who passed you over do not have the final say on your success. I am opening doors that Noon can shut. The opportunity that was stolen will be replaced by something better, but you have to release the bitterness to receive it. You cannot walk through the door I am opening if you are chained to the closed door behind you, so forgive them, trust me, and watch what I do next. To the one who was gossiped about, slandered, lied about, I know the pain of having your reputation attacked. I know what it feels like to have people believe things about you that are not true. I know the helplessness of trying to defend yourself against whispers, against anonymous accusations, against lies that spread faster than truth can catch up. The wound of slander is particularly painful because it affects how others see you, how they treat you, whether they give you opportunities or avoid you. But I want you to know that I know the truth. I know who you really are. I know what really happened, and I am your defender. You don't have to clear your own name. You do not have to track down every lie and correct it. You do not have to spend your energy fighting battles that are not yours to fight. Forgive the Ness who spread the lies, release them from the debt they owe you. Trust me to vindicate you in my time and in my way, for your reputation is safe in my hands. Those who need to know the truth will know it, and those who choose to believe lies reveal more about themselves than about you. To the one who was betrayed by a friend, I understand the particular pain of that wound. Friends are the family we choose. So when they betray us, it hurts in a unique way because we let them in, we chose to trust them. We made ourselves vulnerable, and they used that vulnerability against us. The betrayal of a friend makes you question your own judgment, your ability to discern who is safe, your willingness to ever open up again. But I want you to know that their betrayal does not mean you were foolish to trust. It does not mean you made a mistake by being vulnerable. It means they proved themselves unworthy of what you offered, and that is their loss, not yours. Kindly show your support for our community by contributing super thanks from $50 to $100. Do not let their betrayal cause you to close off from everyone. Do not let one bad friend make you refuse to ever have friends again. There are loyal people out there. People who will keep your secrets, stand by you, and never betray your trust. But you will not find them if I are too bitter to look. So forgive the one who betrayed you and open your heart to the faithful friends I am bringing into your life. To the one who has been rejected over and over, I see the pattern. I see how many times you have put yourself out there only to be turned down. I see the job applications, the relationship attempts, the groups you tried to join, the communities you hoped would accept you. Rejection after rejection has worn you down until you almost do not want to try anymore. You wonder if there is something fundamentally wrong with you, if you are doomed to always be on the outside looking in. But I want you to know that your history of rejection does not define your future. Every closed door is leading you toward the open one. Every noise getting you closer to the yes that matters. The people and places that rejected you were not me. And for you, their rejection was protection, though it did not feel like it at the time. I have prepared a place for you, a community that will embrace you, opportunities that are perfectly suited for your gifts, relationships that will value everything you have to offer, but you have to forgive the ones who rejected you to find your way there. Release the bitterness. Trust my timing and keep moving forward. Your yes is coming. To the one who was judged by religious people, I grieve that ones inflicted in my name have driven you away from me. The church was supposed to be a place of grace, but instead it became a place of condemnation. The people who were supposed to represent me showed you judgment instead of mercy, rules instead of relationship, shame instead of love, and now you wonder if I am like them. You wonder if I am keeping score, waiting to catch you in a mistake, ready to reject you when you fall short. But I want you to know that I am not like them. My yoke is easy, my burden is light. I do not come to condemn you but to save you. I do not keep record of your wrongs. I do not shame you for your failures. I offer grace upon grace. Mercy Thetis new every morning, love that will not let you go. So do not let flawed human beings stand between you and me. Forgive them for misrepresenting my heart. Release the bitterness toward the church so that it does not poison your relationship with me. For you can be close to me, even if you cannot be close to organized religion right now. I am not offended by your questions or your distance from the church. I just want you come back to me and let me show you who I really am. To the one who is holding a grudge against yourself, I have saved the most important word. For you are harder on yourself than I would ever be. You hold yourself to impossible standards and then beat yourself up when you cannot meet them. You remember every failure in vivid detail. You play your worst moments on an endless loop. You tell yourself that you should have known better, done better, been better, and the weight of your own self-condemnation is crushing you. I want you to know that I have already forgiven you. Every sin you're still punishing yourself for has already been dealt with. The price has been paid. The debt has been canceled. You are free, but you keep putting yourself back in prison. You are forgiven, but you keep holding on to guilt. You are clean, but you keep rolling around in shame. So I am asking you to stop. I am asking you to accept the forgiveness I have given you. I am asking you to be asking to yourself as I am to you. You are not defined by your worst moments. You are not the sum of your failures. You are my beloved child in whom I am well pleased. Not because you're perfect, but because you are mine. Not because you have earned my love, but because I have chosen to give it. Stop punishing yourself. Start believing what I believe about you. You are forgiven. You are loved. You are valuable. Now live like it, my precious child. I have poured out so many words to you in this message. Words of truth, words of healing, words of freedom. I have spoken directly to your fears, your questions, your struggles. I have offered you the key to your prison cell and invited you to walk out into freedom. Now the choice is yours. You can take these words and let them transform you. You can choose forgiveness and experience the freedom I have described. You can release the people who have hurt you and step into the beautiful future I have planned for you. Or you can close this message and go back to the way things were. You can hold on to your bitterness and continue to suffer its consequences. You can stay in the prison even though the door is open. I will not force you, love never forces, but I want you to know what is at stake. Your freedom, your peace, your joy, your relationships, your purpose, your intimacy with me. All of this is waiting for you on the other side of forgiveness. All of this becomes possible when you let go. So choose wisely, choose forgiveness, choose freedom, choose life, choose me. I love you with an everlasting love. I will never stop pursuing you, never stop calling you, never stop offering you the freedom that only I can give. No matter how many times you have tried to forgive and failed, I am here with new strength for today. No matter how deep your wounds, my grace goes deeper. No matter how long you have been carrying this burden, it is not too late to put it down. Today can be the day. This moment can be the turning point. This word can be the catalyst that changes everything. Will you let it come to him with your wounds? Come to him with your bitterness? Come to him with your unforgiveness? And let me heal you, cleanse you, set you free. For I have been waiting for this moment. I've been preparing you for this breakthrough. Everything in your life has been leading to this invitation. Say yes. Yes, say yes to forgiveness. Say yes. Oh, freedom, say yes to the future I have for you. Say yes to him and watch as everything changes. I want to leave you with a final blessing, a declaration of freedom that I am speaking over your life right now. Receive these words, let them settle deep into your spirit. Let them become the new truth that you live by. I declare that you are forgiven. Every sin, every failure, every mistake has been washed away by my blood. There is no condemnation for you. There is no record being kept against you. You are clean, you are pure, you are new. I declare you are released from the prison of unforgiveness. The chains that have been binding you are breaking right now. The doors that have been locked are swinging open. The walls that have been holding you in are crumbling to dust. You are free to walk out of captivity and into the wide open spaces of grace. I declare that the people who hurt you no longer have power over you. Their words no longer define you. Their actions no longer control you. Their rejection no longer determines your worth. You have taken back the authority they stole. You are no longer a victim. You are a victor. I declare that healing is flowing into everyone. The places that have been raw and painful for years are being soothed by my presence. The memories that have haunted you are losing their sting. The trauma that has shaped your responses is being transformed. You are becoming whole. I declare that your future is bright with hope. The plans I have for you are good, plans to prosper you and not to harm you, plans to give you a hope and a future. The best day. So if your life are not behind you, they are ahead. The closed doors are leading you to open ones. The endings are making room for new beginnings. I declare that your relationships are being restored. The walls you built to protect yourself can come down now. The trust that was broken can be rebuilt with the right people in the right time. The isolation is ending, connection is coming. You will love and beloved. I declare that your purpose is being activated. The things that unforgiveness held back are now flowing freely. Your gifts are being released. Your calling just being clarified. Your impact is being multiplied. What the enemy meant for evil is being turned for good. I declare that my presence goes with you wherever you go from this moment. I am there in the valleys. I am there on the mountaintops. I am there in the ordinary days and the extraordinary moments. I am there. You are never alone. You are never abandoned. You are never without hope. I declare that my peace guards your heart and your mind. The anxiety loses its grip. The fear retreats. The worry has no place to land. You are held in the palm of my hand, secure. Be a trust. I declare that joy is being restored to you. the ability to laugh without bitterness tainting it, the capacity to celebrate without guilt overshadowing it, the freedom to enjoy good things without waiting for the other shoe to drop. Joy is your birthright, and you are stepping into it. I declare that you are more than a conqueror. Through me who loves you, you can overcome anything. No weapon formed against you will prosper. No voice raised against you will stand. You are protected, you are empowered, you are victorious. I declare that this is your day. You have breakthrough, not tomorrow, not someday, but it right now in this moment. The season is shifting, the atmosphere is changing, heaven is moving on your behalf. Your breakthrough has arrived. Receive this blessing, agree with it in your spirit. Let it become the truth that you stand on, the foundation that holds you up when everything else is shaking. You are blessed, you are favored, you are loved beyond measure, and you are walking in freedom. Now, my child, go in peace, go in power, go in the confidence that comes from knowing who you are and whose you are. You are my beloved. Nothing can separate you from my love. Nothing can still the freedom I have given you. Nothing can stop the good plans I have for your life. Walk forward without looking back. The past is behind you. Let it stay there. The future is before you. Embrace it. I am with you every step of the way. Guiding, protecting, providing, loving. You will never walk alone. This is my word to you. This is my promise that will never fail. This is the truth that will hold you up when everything else gives way. You are forgiven, you are free, you are mine. Now go and live like it. Remember these words when the old hurts try to resurface. Remember this blessing when the bitterness attempts to creep back in. Remember this moment when you chose freedom over bondage, grace over grudges, love over hatred. For you made a decision today that has changed the trajectory of your life. You stepped out of the prison and into the light. You let go of the heavy bag and felt the relief of unburdened shoulders. You are not the same person who started listening to this message. You have been transformed by truth, set free by grace, and wrapped in the love that will never let you go. The journey of forgiveness continues from here. Every day will bring new opportunities to choose release over resentment. Every situation will offer you the chance to practice what you have learned. But you're equipped now. You have the tools, you have the understanding, you have the experience of breaking free. Use it, share it, live it. And watch as your story of forgiveness becomes a beacon of hope for others who are still searching for the way out of their own. Isons, for I believe in you, I am proud of you, I love you forever. Amen. If this message touched your heart, share it with someone who needs to hear these words today. There is someone in your life right now who is struggling with unforgiveness, carrying the weight of bitterness, chained to their past by hurts they cannot seem to release. Send them this message. Let them know that freedom is possible. Let them know that healing is available. Let them know that they don't have to carry this weight for one more day. Type Amen in the comments to receive this plea. Sing in to declare that you are choosing forgiveness today. Type Amen to agree that you are free from the chains of bitterness. Type Amen to release those who have hurt you and to embrace the future. Your Amen is a declaration of faith that shifts things in the spiritual realm. When you type it, you are not just writing letters on a screen. You are making a statement that you are saying yes to God and yes to freedom. So type Amen boldly. Type it believing. Type it knowing that something is changing inside you right now. God you has always loved you and He's setting you free today, Daniel. So you never miss another message from God. He has more words for you, more healing, more freedom, more love. Let them speak to you every day. Let them continue the work He has started in you, for you are precious to Him. You are His beloved child, and He's not finished with you, yet the best is yet to come. Amen.